Shout out the Erdtree releases this week. I assume that, just like me, you all are excited to play through it and get your hands on all the new items. But if the base game has shown us anything, it isn't going to be that easy. So this video will go over the 3 most important items for players to acquire before the DLC, and detail farming areas for each item. By the end of this video, you will definitely be DLC ready. So be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. First, let's go over larval tiers, a pivotal item that will allow you to test every new weapon freely. As most probably know, these tiers allow the player to change their stats at Renala. Sadly, these items have a set amount through each run and cannot be farmed, but I can show you some easy tiers to pick up. First up is Necrom, which you will definitely have access to as you must defeat Radahn to get into the DLC. You can find a larval tier at the beginning of the city here, as well as another one shortly after in this gazebo. You can then fight the Mimic tier, which will give you 2 more. And finally, you can get one from defeating this giant ball within the city itself. You can find more of these giant balls over in Noxtella, which you can find by progressing Ronnie's questline, as well as using this tomb to travel the rivers at the Great Root Depths. After getting all of those, you should have enough to explore numerous amounts of builds in the DLC. But if you want more, you can also find some in the overworld. 2 that are fairly easy to get to is this nobleman in Limgrave, who transforms into a bear, as well as this zombie who transforms into a worm face. Eliminating both of these enemies will get you 2 more tiers. There are a handful more, and if you want to find them, you can use the Elden Ring map, which I linked in the description. Now, let's move on to the next key item that will increase your odds in the DLC, Rune Arcs. These are essential items that activate the great runes you collect throughout the game, and they are spread throughout the lands between. I will show you some easy ones to grab, as well as ways to farm for them. You can get 6 Rune Arcs at the northern part of Liurnia by looting these corpses just north of Bellum Church. And then buying more from this merchant, also near Bellum Church. You can also get Rune Arcs from the Twin Maiden Husks in the Round Table if you haven't already. But chances are, players have grabbed these Rune Arcs already. So how can you find more? Well, you can get infinite amounts of Rune Arcs by participating online. If you put your summon sign down next to a boss fight and defeat the boss, you will get Rune Arcs for your victories. So why not help your fellow Tarnished defeat the Cruel Omen Moog so they can start on their DLC journey? But if you don't want to help your Tarnished and instead hunt them down as invaders, you can get Rune Arcs from doing that as well. And finally, if you don't want to deal with any online stuff, you can try to farm Rune Arcs from rats, though it is a very low drop rate. A good place to try and farm them is the Earthbore Cave at the north of the Weeping Peninsula with the Rune Bear boss. There are 8 rats in here, and each one has a chance to drop a Rune Arc. Perhaps you can use our next and last item to help you with the drop rates, the Silver Pickled Foulfoot. These temporarily boost your discovery, which will be very useful when trying to get a rare drop in the DLC, whether it be armor or weapons that you want to use. In order to craft these feat, you will have to get the missionary cookbook found in the Smoldering Church, where you fight Anastasia. After getting that book, you'll need to get the materials, a Foulfoot and Silver Fireflies. A good place to farm these feat is the 4th Church of Marika, located in the Weeping Peninsula as well. There are 17 birds here on this beach, but this route can take a while. A faster route with less birds can be found at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion in Caelid, right next to Exeeks the dragon. Not as many birds here as there are only 8, but it can be a bit faster if you would like that more. In order to farm Silver Fireflies, you can go to the Ainsel River Main site of Grace, where you can pick up 6 fireflies per rest, like I do here. An alternative to this is the very beginning Groveside Cave. A bit of a farther run, and 1 less firefly, but you don't need to be as far into the game as the other method. And after all that, you will be ready for the DLC. Well, at least you'll have the items to make things a bit easier. But make sure you get your roll timings down again. Perhaps practicing on the bosses as a summon wouldn't be such a bad idea. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please subscribe. I make Elden Ring content almost every week, and stream challenge runs and other ideas on the weekend. I will be streaming my DLC playthrough, where I plan to only use the reverse grip swords the entire playthrough. So go follow my Twitch as well. I recently did a gravity spell only run, which you can watch by clicking the video on screen. Sadly, the video is edited in a much different style than I usually do. Adobe was giving me issues while editing. But I believe it is still a good watch. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your DLC adventures. Hopefully, I will see you in another video. BrodyZ out.